Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Liaqat Zaman and welcome to this video of Balagha. So this is lesson number 11 of Balagha. Hope you guys have been following the previous lessons. If there's anything that you think I should make any changes or improvements, put in the comments so I can implement them in the future videos, inshallah. So this video is about Surah Naba. We're continuing with verses 24, 25 and 26. So let's start then. So La yadhuquna. Yadhuquna, it means to taste. They will not taste. La yadhuquna. They will not taste. Now the word taste has been used over here, which is dhawq. And dhawq is usually something that's done by the tongue. So the tongue tastes. Okay, so fihi, here we have inside, which is a dharf, inside it. Fiha, which goes back to Jahannam. La yadhuquna fiha. They will not taste in it, in Jahannam. So this is a dharf being used. This is like creating a visual scene. The tongue with the dhawq, so you have this image of the taste of the tongue coming out and tasting something, and usually the taste is something which is positive, a nice taste, and fiha, in it, meaning immersed in it, right inside of it. Okay, so the tongue, and then we have the fiha. Now all of this, the fiha is actually supposed to come after, right? So there's a bit of taqdeem here, right? So some words have been brought forward here deliberately. La yadhuquna fiha. So Allah is telling us, wants us to know that the dhawq is actually taking place inside of the Jahannam, right inside the Jahannam, so that it doesn't seem metaphorical. Okay, bardan, bard means cool or cold, and there's three possibilities that Mufassirin have mentioned. One is that it could mean cool air, cool breeze. The Arabs would call the word bard a cool breeze that would come. In hot weather, cool breeze is one of the most luxurious things that you can have. Secondly, it can also come for the meaning of cold drink. So bard comes for a cold drink. So you know, if it's a hot day and you're drinking a cold drink with ice in there, you say this drink is bard. And also, interestingly, sleep is also called bard as well, because possibly maybe sleep occurs in the time of night time, which is a cooler time, or sleep it creates this cool feeling. You know, body temperature drops. You know, that could possibly be one of the reasons. Anyway. So these are three possibilities that they mentioned. So this word having multiple possibilities is another aspect of Balagha here. Waw being mentioned is called a wasl. So you have this extension, addition, add. You can say an add sign. So, you know, bard and sharab. Now the word la didn't have to be repeated. You could have said la yadhuquna fiha bardan wa sharaban. But by mentioning la, repetition occurs, ta'keed, emphasis occurs, and also that these two things are two separate things. So la yadhuquna fiha bardan. One of the things that they will not taste is coolness, nor will they taste sharab. So the word sharab is mentioned here. Sharab, it means a drink, right? And it can also be the masdar, the root meaning to drink. Yeah, so they won't get to drink. So the word drinking over here is used. Now, when we normally look at translation, we're only looking at like one camera, you know, shot of it, right? So imagine there's a scene and there's multiple camera shots. The Quran will bring many shots into one scene, whereas if you look at translation, you're only looking at one aspect of it. So you can say it's one like camera shot, and that's the important thing to remember, is that the translation is very limited. You're very limited of what you can understand through a translation, and you might even get the wrong understanding through a translation. Anyway, so over here now, you see you got these two words combined over here now. La yadhuquna fiha bardan wa la sharaban. Now taste is something with the tongue, and if I say to you the word taste, add another word after it that you normally would use in a sentence when it comes to taste. You might say food, or you might say a drink, or anything of that sort. So but here you're tasting coolness. So that's why this here could have something hidden, hidden verb over here, which in Arabic you call tadhmeen. And it's a very common thing Arabs do. In English we do it as well. Say things like, I'm going to eat breakfast, I'm going to eat toast and tea. Eat toast and tea, meaning I'm going to eat toast and drink tea. So you have like a hidden verb in the middle where the listener is intelligent and will know what you're saying. Okay, so tadhmeen. So here you have, for example, it could be La yash'uruna bardan. They won't be feeling coolness. Yeah. La yadhuqun. They won't be tasting in it and feeling coolness. Right. So the feeling is the coolness. So you could have that hidden there as well. So that's one of the camera shots maybe you can you could think about. Or you can actually say, well, this sentence, why can't we hide something else here? So we can have a hidden word, maybe shay'an bardan. La yadhuquna shay'an bardan. They will not taste anything cool. So anything, as in their tongues will not taste anything cool. It's not like the dunya where a person can find something cool, right? It's as though the thing that they're going to be eating is going to be continuously hot. It will not cool down. So la yadhuquna fiha bardan. Alright, so you can have something hidden there. And there's a few more others, and I'll mention in a bit, that you can possibly have assumed, like we say here, muqaddar, taqdeer. You could also have something hidden over here. You could say that la, meaning that the sharab over here, right, could mean a general drink. Okay, and the bard could actually refer to a cool drink. So this is something that Arabs do as well. Like someone might say something like, I don't eat pears and apples and fruit. So I don't eat pears and apples and fruit. So pears and apples are both type of a fruit. So therefore, by mentioning these, it's like you're saying lots of things. You're trying to convey to the listener about all the different types of things that you don't eat, even though it's all comes under fruit. And apples and pears, maybe because that's something really specific that you want to highlight. So over here, la yadhuquna fiha bardan would translate as they will not taste in it in Jahannam a cool drink nor any drink. Right? They're not going to taste cool drink. Forget cool drink. They're not even going to taste any drink at all, any form of drink. Right? So you have this what is called dhikrul aam ba'd al khas. Okay, next, the word la yadhuquna, and the dhawq is done with the tongue, isn't it? But by mentioning the word bard after it, which means coolness, it actually conveys a bigger message, and that bigger message is that they won't be drinking coolness, right? Drinking coolness by tasting. In other words, if they're not going to taste it, they're not going to drink it, because in order for you to drink something, first of all, taste has to take place. So by them not tasting it, Allah is showing that they won't even drink it, right? Like if a person says, the cold didn't even touch me, meaning that the whole body didn't feel cold. So this is a form of emphasis, right? So the taste is referring to the drinking, right? So Allah is conveying here. Allah could have said la yashrabuna fiha bardan wala sharaban, but you won't get that multiple camera shots here. By mentioning the dhawq, the sense of tongue comes, then the sense of drinking, and then all the things that precursors to drinking, none of them will occur. Right? And usually what happens is, when you're like very, very hot, and let's say if you want to drink a very cold drink, and as soon as you taste it, the first taste is unmatched, it's unparalleled. So all the other tastes, all the other sips you take after that first one is not the same, because that first one you were anticipating it so much that the tastes after that all if there was a graph, they all go down, right? The intensity of it. So you got that. Another one point to which I'm not going to write here, but is by mentioning the tongue that they won't taste, Allah here is showing something very profound, which is that their whole body will not taste. It's as though the body will get the ability to be able to taste things, and the body will not be able to, just like the tongue is designed to taste, the body will be designed to taste coolness, and it won't be able to taste even coolness, right? So the body will not get a touch of coolness, right? So it kind of creates this powerful image of this individual inmate of Jahannam who is going through this. La yadhuquna fiha bardan wala sharaban. Now imagine that this is like the bare minimum kind of thing that's being mentioned in. Food is not being mentioned or anything like that. This is like when a person is going to die, you can stay without food for days, but you can't stay without drink for days. Okay, so the coolness, the heat, you can understand through this, and the thirst, intense thirst. So like I said earlier on, you can also have hidden over here, you can say dhawqan bardan. La yadhuquna fiha dhawqan bardan. That their tastes, they won't be able to taste coolness anymore. Right? So they're going to lose the ability to be able to taste coolness. Maybe that's the way their bodies are going to be designed. Maybe it's the circumstances. Allah knows best. Anyway, so here you have a very powerful, few words here, but they create a powerful image in the mind. Illa, it means exemption, so except. Right? Except. Now, if I say to you, they will not taste any coldness nor drink except, and then you're going to be thinking, oh, at least they're going to have this. It's like the but, right? They're not going to have any pleasure in Jahannam except, but and then you're thinking, oh, at least they're going to have this. So think of that, okay? Keep that in your mind. So anyway, so this exemption that's mentioned over here, this exemption is used very frequently in the Quran, but this is actually what we call a dham yushbihul madh. Yeah, a dham yushbihul madh, meaning this is something which is a dispraise, and it looks as though you're praising them. So it's something negative, and it's in the form as though you're saying something positive out of it. Yeah, so it's Surah al-Dham, Surah al-Madh, walakin haqiqatuhu al-Dham. Right, so it's as though I'm saying this, that they will have no pleasure in Jahannam except. So the sentence structure is as though I'm saying to you something positive is going to come now, right? But in reality, this is not. Like if I said to you this, you know, these guys are going to go to prison. They're going to have no pleasure in prison except eating cold food, right? Or these people are going to prison. They're going to have no pleasure in prison, no luxury in prison, except for dead rats. So when I said that, it was like making it worse now. So by using this kind of a sentence, right? Adham ma yushbihu al-madh, right? This actually creates more power. You feel more sorry for them. Yeah, you feel inside, you know, no luxury for them of drinking, no luxury of coolness for them, and on top of that, they're going to have something worse. Now, what are they going to have? I hope that makes sense, right? I hope that makes sense, because this, all I want to do, I want to try to clarify it for you guys in your minds of how these sentence structures work in Arabic. Okay, so hamiman wa ghassaqan, 2 words, and it's a very interesting thing. Throughout this chapter, we find twos, things are being mentioned in pairs, right? It's like we mentioned earlier on the azwaja concept. Things are mentioned in groups and pairs. So the hamiman wa ghassaqan. So hamim is hot water, you can say, maybe in boiling hot water, right? And ghassaq is body fluid, right? So body fluids, pus and all of that, serum, it's called ghassaq. So they're going to have no pleasure in Jahannam, nothing pleasurable to drink except for extremely hot water and body fluids, right? Look how disgusting that is now. Now, obviously, these people are going to be so thirsty and so, exhausted that they will drink anything. So imagine that. So, you know, you want to save yourself from this, and it creates this evil image in your mind that you want to protect yourself from. So bardan is actually the opposite, or loose opposite, we can say, of hamim. Right? The opposite of hamim would be ma barid, right? But the bard over here and hamim is a very like a loose opposite. And the sharab and the ghassaq. So sharab is a drink, although ghassaq is not a form of drink. It doesn't fall under the normal categories of drinks that people drink. But ghassaq is something which, obviously, for them, it's going to be, a makeshift drink, right? It's a makeshift drink that they're going to have. The people of luxury in Jannah will be drinking, pure drinks, beverages, and the people of Jahannam will be drinking, things that you'd never imagine people would ever drink. So this is like the opposite, the contrast that's being made over here. Okay, so you have this, shift, right, from one bard to hamim, sharab to ghassaq. Okay, so you have this, and this is what we call laf nashar murattab, right? So laf nashar murattab, which means, when you have like a sentence and you mention several things and then you say respectively, right? So you say, I saw Zaid, Khalid and Fatima in the shop, car and school. Yeah, so Zaid was in the shop, Khalid was in the car, Fatima was in the school, right? So this is like respectively when you mention several things in sequence, and then you break them down in sequence as well. So this is something that Allah wants to keep in sequence in your mind. The coolness with the heat, the drink with the disgusting. Okay, so anyway, so then finally the last part is jaza'an wifaq. So here you can have something here, yujazona or yujzona, and they will be rewarded or compensated jaza'an, right? A jaza. Wafaqan, and this can be the sifa, the adjective of jaza, and it can be in the meaning of muwafiqan or dha wifaqin, right, which basically means a reward. This what they're getting is not like something that's oppression has been done to them. This is what they deserve. In other words, this is what they worked for. This is their wages, you can say. This is the thing that they have earned. Yeah, this is the thing that they have done hard work for in the world to gain. The lying, the evil, the backbiting, the killing, the murdering, the disbelieving, the accusations against the Prophet ﷺ, all of that. What else do you expect? What other wages do you want them to get? So here the jaza and wifaqan, this is basically what the sentence is mentioning over here. So you have this idea of that this punishment is precise wifaqan. Wifaqan means it's exactly appropriate, right, for what they've done. Like this, nothing more than what they deserve. Allah hasn't oppressed them in any way. It's exactly what they deserved. Okay, so, and this is the scary part of it, the scary thing that, imagine this is what they deserved, right? So imagine someone else. Okay, so now let's list all the balagha points that we have over here. So we have majaz mentioned over here, which is metaphors that are being mentioned over here. Figurative speech, majaz dhawq is being mentioned, but you mean drink by it, or dhawq of the tongue, but you mean the whole body will taste. Okay, and remember, the whole body tasting is something that shouldn't be something strange to us, because Allah has put the ability for the tongue to taste. Why can't He put the ability for the body to taste as well? Okay, number 2 is we have the concept of mubalagha, right? Mubalagha. So the tasting, the tongue being mentioned of, he could have said la yashrabuna, but by mentioning taste is the precursor for drinking. So if they're going to have no taste, that means they're going to have no drink. Right, so this is mubalagha. And the whole body itself, like we said earlier on, that the idea that the whole body will become something like a tongue that will start tasting things. Right, that's the kind of part of the punishment as well. Imagine your whole body now can feel the same pain that your tongue can feel. Okay, so next, fiha, and we said this is the dharf. This is like inside, taking place inside, creating a vessel, creating imagery inside of it. And tadmeen, right? So you have hidden verbs, and this is because we're humans, we are intellectual, we can understand anything that's hidden. All right, so number 5 is we have the munasaba. Yeah, so words which are very befitting. So like dhawq, for dhawq you have sharab, and you have bard, the coolness, and the coolness you have this meaning of sleep and cold water and cold air, right? So you have all those, and you also have the kathratul ma'ani. So there's like multitude of meanings that you have. So you have this multitude of meanings that can apply with one verse or one word itself. Okay, next you have wasal. Waw is being mentioned over here, which brings things together. It kind of is like the add sign, the plus sign. It brings multiple things together, and it shows the relationship between them. Okay, dhikrul am ba'd al khas. So we said if we take the meaning of bard to mean cool drink, then sharab after it would be something generic, general, being mentioned after something specific. Again, this is creating inside of them like these different levels, right? So your mind goes from cold to no drink. If you say to someone you're going to get no cold drink, and then you say no drink, that's like making it worse for them. So ta'keed is emphasis now. So you have this ta'keed taking place, right? You have the taqdeem taking place as well, repetition. Okay, laf nashr murattab, like we mentioned earlier on. So laf nashr murattab is where you have multiple things that are mentioned, and then you have them being expanded upon later on in particular order. Now if you don't have them expanded on in a particular order, right, I'll give you the example of I saw Zaid, Khalid and Fatima in the house, car and school. Right, if you don't have them in order, you call this laf nashr ghair murattab, and that has a different benefit. Okay, number 11, you have tibaq. So tibaq is where you bring opposites, right? So bard against hamim, sharab against ghassaq. But we said, although bard and hamim can be very close opposites, sharab and ghassaq are not really. And that has a benefit in itself as well. Number 12 is we have the fawasil. So still ending, the verses are still ending in a, sharaba, ghassaqa, wifaqa, right? All this ending has an effect as well. This sound, it has an effect of like pain as well. It has an effect of, being awed, overawed, overwhelmed. Okay, so number 13 is, okay, let's see what we can write here. It's a dham, yushbihul madh. Yeah, so it's dham. So it's a criticism of them, dispraising them. Their situation is going to become worse after worse after worse. But it's as though, by mentioning the illa, except, it's as though you're going to change it into something positive now. Right? So that's a very powerful device that is. right? Creating this imagery in the mind. Okay, number 14. So you have hadaf. So you have things that are missing or deliberately been removed, yujazona, like we said. You know, okay. You also, I mean, there's lots of things over here I could have mentioned besides, like tankir, nakira is being mentioned. And also, mutabaqa as well, baradan wa sharaban, hamiman, ghasaqan, in twos they come. And you have sentences like a verbal sentence, la yadhuquna. So you have a verb sentence here. So there's many things that you can add in or you can investigate yourselves. I just want to give you an understanding of how much balagha can be found in these verses. Anyway, so one of the ideas that I had was maybe we can do some sort of contrasting as well. Contrast the balagha in the Quran with balagha in song lyrics as well. So we can see the quality of the balagha in the Quran compared to the quality of the balagha in the song lyrics. So, a person can have a true understanding of how much quality there is in the Quran. Anyway, so let's just summarize now. So we talked about Jahannam in the previous verses, and then we said this is the place for the taghin, people who are extremely transgressing, and then this is their home. So when you think of home, you think of a place that you stay for a long time, and we said they're going to stay here for a very long time. And then when you think of home, you think of tasting things, you think of coolness, right? You think of, air conditioning, if you have an air conditioning system, right? So all these kind of things, and drinks, these are all kind of things that you associate with home. Okay, so association with the home, right? This is something that you have. However, in Jahannam, they are not going to have any coolness, right? And you're going to, but the coolness is actually not necessary. It's the drink that's necessary, right? That's the necessary thing. So it's very interesting how the verse brings the word bard and then the word sharab, as though it's like normally you'd think they're not going to have any drink, no coolness. By bringing the coolness, then bringing the sharab, it's like hits you twice with like a hammer, right? About how severe it's going to be. Anyway, so we said that the taste they're only going to have is hamiman, extremely hot water, ghasaqan, which is, the pus and the bodily fluids. So all these kind of things that they're going to have, this is jaza and wifaqan, right? This is the price that they have to pay, right? This is basically the consequence of their actions in the dunya. Allah does not, show anyone any sort of oppression at all. And this is exactly what they deserve. So may Allah save us from this, may Allah protect us from all of this, and give us, Jannah. And the verse of Jannah are going to come later on anyway, but it's just, every single verse in the Quran has to be studied, meticulously in detail, studying every word, studying every structure, looking at the words before and after and where it comes and how it appears in the Quran in different ways. That's the only way we're going to appreciate how Allah says things. Anyway, Jazakumullah khair for watching this video. I hope you guys have benefited from this. If you have any sort of questions, if you have anything, then please let me know. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Press the bell button to get new notifications. And if you want to become patron, thank you for my patrons for supporting me so much. Anything that you give on a monthly basis, whatever it is, I mean, there's a $3 minimum, but if you want to give $1, that's fine as well. And by you giving me, you're supporting me, motivating me to make more videos, giving me more free time so I can spend more time making videos, and I can, invest in more software and more things out there so that I can utilize in my videos as well. Jazakumullah khair, and hope you guys enjoy this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. And again, thank you to all my patrons as well for all your support. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah reward you. If you guys want to become a patron, then links in the description below. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.